Peace, peace, everyone. Welcome back to the Bloggers Podcast. Today, we're going to break down a hot and controversial topic, genetically modified mosquitoes in Africa, and why Burkina Faso's leader, Captain Ibrahim Traore, just said absolutely not to Bill Gates' plan. This ain't science fiction. This is happening right now. Let's start with the basics. Malaria is a serious problem across Africa. Every year, hundreds and thousands of people die, most of them children. That's the heartbreak. Now, to fight this, a project called Target Malaria, funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, came up with a plan. Release genetically modified mosquitoes that either can't reproduce or can't spread malaria. Sounds futuristic, right? The idea is over time, the malaria-spreading mosquito population shrinks and fewer people get sick. But here's where it gets real complicated. Anytime you hear about releasing genetically modified species into the wild, you gotta pause. What does that do to the ecosystem, to the food chain, to us? Critics have called this out as risky, experimental, and let's be honest, another case of Africa being treated like the testing ground for Western science projects. And let's not forget history. We've seen medical experiments in African communities before, often without full consent. That's why so many people side-eye projects like this. They say, if it's so safe, why not test it in America first? Now, here's the breaking part of the history. Just this past August 2025, Burkina Faso's government under Captain Ibrahim Traore said, no more. They officially shut down the Target Malaria project in the country. Not only that, but they ordered that every mosquito sample connected to it be destroyed under strict rules. That's a big move. Why? Because it pushes back against what the government calls scientific colonialism. In other words, outside powers running experiments in Africa without full accountability. Traore and his team made it clear. Burkina Faso wants to explore local, safer solutions to malaria, not experimental gene drives bought in from the West. So why should we care about this story? Well, first, it's about health. Malaria is deadly, and Africa does need solutions. But second, it's about power. Who gets to decide what kind of science gets tested and where? Burkina Faso's rejection is more than just about mosquitoes. It's about sovereignty, independence, and saying, we're not going to let outsiders play with our environment and our people without consent. Whether you trust Bill Gates' intentions or not, this decision is a reminder that African nations have a voice, and some are choosing to use it loud and clear. So family, what do y'all think? Do you see genetically modified mosquitoes as a solution or danger? Was Traore right to shut it down? Or should Africa be open to these new technologies if they promise to save lives? Hit me up with your thoughts. Share this episode with someone that needs to hear it, and let's keep the conversation going. As always, stay curious, and thanks for listening to Bloggers Podcast. Make sure you subscribe and share. Peace.